a donut, big, heavy, but it needs to be triple, probably for 1,500 watts heavy duty. So I never run it that high. I keep it at about 950, 1,000 watts. So that's the station here, Randy, K0RWB from KA9ZAP.
Yeah, fine business, Art. I copy that. It never fails. There's issues when you least expect it. But yeah, no problem today. You're 5.9 plus 10 in my receive. It was a tough battle, I'll say. It's almost a flip of a coin. The 7610, the 101D. We decided to upgrade in January from an old Yaesu FT950. We know there's been some advances in receive technology over the years, and we're fortunate to have a local amateur radio store in the metro area. And we had called them ahead. He had a used FTDX 3000, which spurred our interest. And of course, they did have the new Yaesu FTDX 10. So we went over, took our equipment over there, and put the 3000 on the bench and played around a little bit with it. We also do a live stream on YouTube daily, usually on 20 meters, but the band is in terrible shape. We did that earlier for about 30 minutes, and it got so bad we were talking to ourselves. We're actually live streaming now as well here on 40 meters, so if you're interested in listening to your QSO on the playback, you can do that. But anyhow, we decided to walk away with the 7300, and we used that quite a bit this last month. Really enjoyed the radio. Has a terrific setup for transmit audio. Very simple, very nice, easy radio to operate. Then last week we decided to take one more step further, and we went with the FTDX 10. So that's what we're currently operating now. The Heil 781 microphone. Of course, it's just a 40-meter dipole off the side of my tower, about 38 feet. And running a little power with an ACOM 1000, about 750 on peaks. So that's about the end of the shack here. If we go 6 through 20, we run a hex beam, which we would prefer, but 17 and 20 have not been very good the last couple of days. So we thought we'd come down here. It's much quieter, and when you key, it's nothing but you. So the audio and the signal strength is wonderful there, Roger. Art, did we lose you there? KA9ZAP, K0RWB, back to you. And we'll try one more time. Kilo Alpha 9, Zulu Alpha Papa, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Art, are you there?
You fell underneath my noise level here, and I'm not copying anything after you were choosing between the 7610 and the Yaesu. So I'm going to have to say 73. I wish I could carry on a little bit. I like the picture mine on the Yaesu. I was looking at the 101D, and then I'm really waiting for the K4 to hit the shelf and be available. But I don't think that's going to happen for another 2 years, and I might not live that long, so I'm thinking why not just get the 101D and be done with it. So anyway, I'm going to say 73 unless there's an amplifier or double the power or twice the antenna or a beam or something pointed this way. You're just not making over this brutal band noise. K0RWB from KA9ZAP 73.
Yeah, okay, Art. I'm not sure. The band must have taken a dive there. We could turn it up a little bit. I don't know if it's going to make that much of a difference. You were 5 and 5, and then you dropped back up to 5 and 9. So maybe the band is moving around there. Not too sure, but I do appreciate you answering the CQ, and nice to have a chance to work you. And hopefully we can do it when there are better band conditions. But thanks again. Enjoyed the QSO, and look forward to again. Kilo Alpha 9, Zulu Alpha Papa, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Randy in Kansas City, 7-3s, my friend. And we're clear. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ, any station, anywhere. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ, CQ, any station, anywhere. CQ 40 meters, CQ 40 meters, CQ 40 meters, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ, CQ, CQ 40 meters, CQ 40 meters, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ, CQ. CQ 40, CQ 40, CQ 40 meters, CQ 40, CQ 40 meters, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ, CQ, CQ 40 meters, CQ 40 meters, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ, any station, anywhere.
89 QQR, Kilo Delta 9, Quebec, Quebec Romeo.
Okay, I got you that time. Kilowatt Delta 9, Quebec, Quebec Romeo. Good afternoon. The name here is Randy, 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Go ahead.
Yeah, Randy, the name here is Rick, and I'm calling from central Wisconsin, a small town called Iola, India, Oscar, Lima, Elfo. Copy?
Yeah, fine business, Rick. We got you. Iola, Wisconsin. Sure thing. Thanks for answering the call. I'm not sure the conditions of the band, but it doesn't seem to be in the most horrific shape. We were up on 20 meters earlier, and it was really, really bad. So we thought we would try 40 for a little bit, and it seems to be a little bit better, but not sure how much activity there is today. Go ahead.
Affirmative, Randy. You started out there at about 5 by 7, and by the time you were done, you were down around, I could still copy you well, but you're down to 3 on the S meter, so definitely some variability going on. I was checking some of the other bands just a few minutes ago, and 17 meters was absolutely nothing, and 20 was pretty sparse. Over.
Yeah, fine business. Yeah, see, you went 5 and 5 and then back to 5 and 9, so it is jumping around. Yeah, 17 was closed for me, and 20 was really, really sporadic. We do a YouTube live stream daily at 2 o'clock Central, generally on 20 meters, and after about 30 minutes, we couldn't take it anymore, so we decided to come down here on 40, see if it was a little bit quieter. See if there was any activity and take our chances there, Roger.
I've been finding myself gravitating towards 17 meters and some of the bands with the little bit higher frequencies. It just seems they're a little less populated, not so many nets and stuff, and it's just I guess it suits my personality better. Over. Yeah,
we. Like I said, we try to hit the bands where you have some activity, and you hate to do a live stream and call CQ and nobody answers. It gets pretty boring really quick. So 20 has been really good the last couple of weeks. Yesterday, we noticed a change, a little bit of electrical interference in the area, and a lot of QSB, and today it started up again about 10 o'clock, and it's continued. So 40 doesn't seem to be quite as bad. We don't get down here very often. I know there's a lot of activity in the evenings where you're usually down on 80 meters, but we wanted to try it this afternoon and just see if we could continue a little bit. And it has been pretty good, but the band is definitely up and down. Roger.
Roger that. I've got a good copy on you again. Variability, but I'm reading you loud and clear. So, what your YouTube live stream? What channel is that? Is that under your call sign or what?
Yeah, it's actually under my call. Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. We're streaming live right now, which may be kind of tough for the playbacks, but when the band is quiet and it's good, you're 5.9 plus. It is bouncing up and down. Now we've been doing the stream for a while. We've had lots of comments and feedbacks on the positive side, and we try to do this on a daily basis. Again, if the conditions are going to be like they have been, it's going to be a real struggle. But we're having fun with it, and people checking in are having fun as well. Roger.
Affirmative, Randy. I'll have to check that out a little bit and maybe get some idea about, you very difficult. I know you can record your own voice and stuff with your radio icon 73.3, but it'll be nice just to hear my broadcast from the perspective of the listener. So I'll have to check that out later.
Yeah, that's what kind of got me into it. Back the first part of January, I was checking in with a gentleman down in Cutler Bay, Florida, Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform. He's actually streaming right now on 17, and I checked in with him, and that was the first opportunity I got to listen to my audio, and I just kind of shrieked. So it allows me to at least start making some changes, I thought, for the better. So we continued doing that, checking in with him, and he suggested that I start this as well. For him being on the East Coast and me Central, there's an opportunity of I hear stations he don't, and so on and so forth. So that's what we did now for about the last month, and we're getting the Eastern Seaboard, and we're getting 6 and 7 call areas, and everything in between, and having a lot of fun with it. And some people have sent some comments back, and they appreciated what we did, and it has allowed them to listen to their audio and make some changes if need be. Roger?
I did have some nice gentlemen that helped me when I first got my radio to sort of set up my miking and my compression. So hopefully it sounds reasonable. I think they got me tuned in pretty well. So, and most people that I've talked to that have listened to the 7300, even with the standard hand mic that comes with it, comment that the audio is pretty solid. Over.
Yeah, very well. I've got a 7300 as a backup, and a very simple radio to set up, especially for transmit audio. Much simpler than this. This is the Yaesu FTDX10 that we're currently running with a Heil PR781 microphone, and it does take a lot more adjustments than the 7300. I found the ICM mic by Heil was a really good complement to the 7300. The thing with the 73, if it had the external monitor output, it'd be a home run in my book, because we run that on our live stream. We have the opportunity to put the screen through the software onto YouTube, and we found that people really do enjoy that. So if the 7300, that wouldn't surprise me down the log if we don't hear of a 7310 and they put the external monitor feature on it. That would be really nice, and we'd probably gravitate toward it again. But for now, this one's working well for us. We're enjoying it. We're still trying to figure it out, but it is making contacts, and that's all you can ask for, Roger.
Roger, Randy. I'm maybe looking down the road at getting like a desk mic set up or something, but for now, as I said, this seems to be working okay, and you always need to justify it to the finance committee. So, I'm going to let you go so you can even raise some other people, and I really appreciate the contact. I'll definitely put you guys down in my QRZ logbook, and say 73 and let you close it out, Randy.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad you came back to the CQ, and thanks for the call and the first contact. And like I said, that last go round, hardly any noise. You've been solid 5.9. I wish it was that way the entire way. But yeah, give a listen. Go to YouTube, put in the call, and we were about 9 or 10 minutes into the stream. That'll give you an idea where to fast forward. But give a listen, and you like what you heard or whatever. I think it sounds pretty good. I mean, that hand mic is no slouch. Years ago, the radios that they sold, they just threw a mic in so you get on the air, but they're really not too bad. But again, nobody knows your voice is better than you do, so give a listen. And if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification and let you know when we're out here again. And we'll be bouncing around, it looks like, between frequencies, but we're still having fun. Thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for the contact from Wisconsin. We do appreciate it. We'll say 7-3 for now. Kilo Delta 9, Quebec Romeo, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. We'll be clear, my friend. 7-3s. clear. Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ. CQ on 40 meters. And QRZ?
Kilo Alpha
Alpha 4, Uniform Sugar Alpha, Mobile, Central Kentucky. Go ahead, CQ.
Give me the mobile station again, please. Give me your call sign.
Kilowatt Alpha 4, Uniform Sugar Alpha, KA4 USA, Frank in Central Kentucky.
Did I copy? Was it kilowatt or whiskey?
Kilowatt Alpha 4.
Okay, my apologies. I got a tight time, Frank. Hey, thanks for coming back to the CQ here. The name here is Randy. We are not mobile. We are we're in the shack. We are located 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Next go around, I'll take a look at the meter, but I have no problem pulling you out. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Yeah, we've been listening to your conversation. Just thought we'd holler at you there and let you know that we was getting that good in Kentucky. We're just on a Razor 891 with a diamond screwdriver antenna, putting out about 100 watts, but it does a pretty good job most of the time.
Yes, sir. You're solid. I mean, solid 5.9. It did not vary at all. So, what you've got, I'm be curious if you've done any grounding straps or if you've done any additional grounding to get the antenna to work that well. Frank, go ahead.
Well, you won't believe it. I have no extra ground. I'm driving a 2019 Volkswagen Beetle convertible. I don't know if it's the lack of metal or whatever, but we had 1-to-1 or less from 6 meters all the way through 80 meters. This thing works terrific.
Yeah, I'd say it's doing a terrific job, especially for mobile, because usually the frequency will start to drop a little bit, the signal strength, but just been really solid. So you're either out in the country, out in the flats someplace, or you've got it really dialed in. The 891 doing a terrific job for you as well. What a terrific mobile setup you got there. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. I'm actually downtown.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Well, I'm glad to see that it's working that well. I would have never guessed. I had a QSO with a mobile the other day out in Washington State, and every little dip and dive he would about drop off, and he was going into Spokane. And just about lost him. But, boy, if you're in downtown Lexington, boy, you've got that working for you.
Roger, Roger. I believe it's all in the grounding. I may be wrong. I love my 891. I actually just purchased a new 991 I'm going to set up at the house. But anyway, I have a lot of fun in this little mobile.
Yeah, I would, too, especially to be able to make contacts like that. We're not too terribly far away, but 40 is definitely a lot quieter this afternoon. I've been up on 20 meters and just couldn't take it, so we came down here. Usually don't do that this time of day, but wanted to give it a try and see what happens. And we're making a few contacts, and the band isn't in terrible shape. Not the best. You've probably been the best in consistent signal that I've heard. Probably not the strongest, but you've been very consistent the entire time. So a little bit jealous there. And, fine business on the 991 Alpha if you're putting that in the shack. It's a terrific radio. Also to have HF and 2 meters 440 would be a nice compliment to any shack. Roger.
Roger, Roger. Also got a Icon 5100 I do a lot of D-starring on and some 2-meter stuff. But anyway, I'll let you go before the signal drops out and give me a bad report. Hi. K0RWB USA. We're clear on your file. Thank you again, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Frank. Appreciate it. Nice to work you. And give us a listen there on YouTube. Listen to the QSO. You can listen to how you sound on the air. I think it sounds great. Just type in my call and go to today's date there. And the playback would be at about 15 minutes in. So give a listen, see what you think. 7-3 is Frank. Be careful out there on the road. Work you again real soon, I hope. Kilo Alpha 4, Uniform Sierra Alpha, Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo. We'll be clear, Frank. 7-3s.
Roger, Roger, 7-3. Thank you again for the good report. And you also are coming in good. Team over. Thank you.
All right, take care. This is K0RWB, reigning Kansas City, QRZ.
PW5UKU.
UKU again, please.
Whiskey 5, Uniform, Kilo Uniform.
Big signal, Whiskey Alpha 5, Uniform, Kilowatt Uniform. Oh, terrific signal there. Thanks for coming back. Name is Randy, 35 miles east of Kansas City. Go ahead.
Yeah, roger that. Just a correction on the call sign there. It's Whiskey 5, Uniform, Kilo Uniform there. QSL?
Yeah, my mistake. I typed it, but I didn't say it right. It's been one of those afternoons there. Yeah, I got it that time. My apologies. Thanks for coming back. I'll look at the meter next go-around, but boy, you jumped out in my receive. Go ahead.
Yeah, roger that. No problem. Yeah, you're sounding good here in Minnesota. You're 10 over, so you're really good audio, really sounding good there.
Well, I appreciate it. Second contact in your part of the world. The other contact was Wisconsin. Again, I do a lot on 40 meters, a little bit in the evenings, but this afternoon we had to jump down here. 20 was in really bad shape, and we try to do a live stream every afternoon, and we just couldn't take it much more on 20. So we came down here and started it up again, and there's a lot more activity I thought. And in generally speaking, most people sound real good. You're 5.9 plus 10 in my receive. Go ahead.
Yeah, roger that. It has been pretty quiet, that's for sure. Even 40's been a little bit quiet today. So, yeah, definitely sounding good. Yeah, I just wanted to stop in and say hi there. I don't want to hold it too long here, so I'll let some other stations get in, but wanted to get a little audio clip there, so I'll definitely check out the YouTube channel. So appreciate what you're doing there. So definitely sounding good, and best of luck to you there. Over.
Yeah, fine business. Well, tell me real quick what you're running, because it's crystal clear. I mean, as clear as a bell, and I call it full flavor. I hear everything in the lows up to the highs, so I'm really curious on the equipment. Go ahead.
Okay, roger that. Actually running an ICOM 7610. I'm actually doing all of the audio processing externally through a computer, running into Logic Pro. So I'm doing a little bit of EQ, some compression and that kind of thing, and then transmitting via USB back to the radio and then through the airwaves there. Over.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah, that's terrific. Are you barefoot or running power as well?
I am running about 400 watts here, just using an 811H amp. Usually run about 400. I don't really push it more than that. Just a little bit of power, I find, is about all I need there. Over.
Yeah, I don't think you need much more. You're just gone to plus 20 in my receive, and all I have is excuse me, is a 40-meter dipole off the side of the tower, about 38 feet in the air, and the legs aren't even in the conventional configuration. One's tucked behind the other, so to speak. But yeah, you're sounding really good. That's I wish that was happening on 20 meters, but it's not. So I'll take it here. So yeah, congrats. We'll do a hand clap there, Roger.
Okay, roger that. Yeah, just running a dipole here, inverted V. ZS6BKW. Seems to do pretty well. I built it myself earlier this last fall, and I've had a lot of good contact with it, and seems to be working well there. Over.
Yeah, I tried a couple of stints with making antennas, and I finally got to the point where I'll leave it to the experts. We weren't having much luck. We did make an 80-meter dipole, which we still use. That seems to be pretty well. But we haven't had much luck otherwise. 6 through 20, we run a hex beam, and we generally are on 17 and 20 are kind of our favorite bands in the evenings. A little bit here. I think I probably missed some of the traffic on 40 just because of dinner time and so forth. And then there's a few stations we talk with on 80 meters in the evenings, and 80's really been open. We're getting New York all the way to Arizona, California, all the way up into Washington State. So it's nice to hear 80 has been open here lately. So I like to think the bands are coming around, but boy, the last 2 days, 17 and 20, I'm kind of getting a little discouraged. So hopefully it won't last very long. But boy, today, 40 meters has really surprised me. So I'm glad I came down here. And if I could get some more stations that sound like you, it'd make it a great afternoon, Roger.
Yeah, roger that. QSL on that, sir. Been different on the bands, but it seems to change as the day goes. So hopefully with the solar cycle, beginning of 25, they keep saying it might be a good one. So hopefully that's true. But I'll say 73s here, Randy. I got to head out here, but just wanted to check in real quick. So definitely sounding good, and best of luck to you on your YouTube channel. So with that, K0RWB, this is W5UKU. I'll be clear on your final.
Yeah, fine business. Thanks again for stopping in. Apologize for the call. I got it in the log correctly. It just sometimes it doesn't come out of my mouth. I either add or subtract digits when I shouldn't, but we've got you in there correct now. 7-3s, and yeah, take a listen on the channel. I mean, the audio is just dead, spot on. Just type in my call, and then you'll find the stream for today's date. And about 22 minutes in is what I was showing, so that you could fast forward that point. Take care. Look for you again, and then look for us as well. We're trying to be out here daily. Hopefully, we'll find a band that works for us. We'll say 7-3s and now. Whiskey 5, uniform kilowatt 0 radio Whiskey Bravo. 7-3s.
Whiskey. All right, roger that. Thanks again, Randy. 73s. W5 UK clear.
Roger, 7-3s. K0RWB QRZ.
Kilo India 4, Kilo Mike.
Alpha Yankee.
The Kilo India 4 again, please.
Thank you, sir. Kilo India 4, Kilo Mike.
Okay, fine business. I got you that time. Kilo India 4, Kilo Mike. A couple other stations in there with you, but you had a little quicker reaction time there. Hey, thanks for coming back. We're just out playing radio today. The name here is Randy. We're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Go ahead.
Hey, thanks for taking the call, Randy. Getting a little bit of fade on there, but your signal's very strong here. I'm Nathan, November Alpha Tango Hotel Alpha November, and 45 miles northwest of Nashville, dialing through the band and reading an article, but I listened to your last couple of QSOs, sounding good here, so I know you're set up there, and we're on a 7300 with the old SM8 desk mic on an off-center fed dipole, about 20 feet above the ground, and it does the trick back there. Go ahead.
Yeah, it sounds wonderful. Yeah, the microphone's a good compliment to that rig. We've got a 7300 as well, and we bought the end of January, used it until last Wednesday when we got this rig here, and just a couple of additional features. I like that external monitor feature that this one has, but yeah, fine business on Clarksville. We had another QSO not terribly far over in Paris. We've spent some time in Kentucky Lake in years past doing some fishing tournaments. So we got a good feel of where you're at. I think Clarksville probably a little bit bigger size than Paris. We also have got some friends that used to be up at Fort Campbell as well. So we got a pretty good eye on the general area. Signal is 5.9 plus 5. Sometimes I'm up in 10. So maybe we got some good conditions here after all. Go ahead.
Oh, very good, Randy. Yeah, your signal is very good here. The dipole and the odd configuration is working for you. Mine isn't straight across either. I have a center pick point, which is not center in the antenna, obviously, but I use the corner of the house and another tree. I get a little V going in the backyard, and it gives me a little more height in the middle, but seems to work good. 80 works okay. Most bands do. I'm right here in a little bend of the Cumberland River. River's up today. I went down to the park. It's such a beautiful day here, 63 degrees currently, and went down to the park to sit outside and had to settle for Wendy's parking lot and sitting in the car because they haven't marked off because the river's up. I'm familiar with Paris, of course, and I've actually worked a station on 40 meters in Paris, so I guess we were doing ground wave where we were close enough. And don't run any power here, just 100 watts, and I've got a pretty good grounding set up at this station. My previous house wasn't quite as good when I got into this one. I also have a 40-meter vertical, and I have a whole house surge protector set up. I got alpha deltas outside, and I got the whole ground system done properly, which I didn't have at my old station. Kind of bugged me. So got an electrician to come over and put those things in, help me out, and I had to convince him about what I wanted to do, and then he relented, and we talked about it, and he said that I have the best grounding of any home that he's messed with residential around here. So hopefully that stuff holds up, keeps my computer here safe and the radio. And yeah, you're sounding very nice. And this mic, K0RWB, I believe, Jimmy in New Mexico, worked him on several different bands, and we kind of dialed this microphone in because there's a high-low gain, there's a tone, and then of course the stuff in the radio. So hopefully it does the voice justice, and people seem to be okay with it. And I always joke, I don't have to listen to it. I just have to listen to myself and my skull. Randy, back to you. K0RWB, KI4KM.
Oh, fine business. So you talk with Audio Jimmy. Yeah, we've dealt with him a few times. Well, I'd be curious. I did this quite a bit a couple of weeks ago, but I'd be curious if you tell me kind of what your settings are. I'd be curious what your mic is set at and what your processing is set up. What do you have set up there, and also what your bass and treble is set at.
Randy, I hate to be rude. The compression on this radio is at 3, but I've got an important call that's come in, so I'm going to clear with you, and I apologize, and I hope to pick you up, and I'll look for you on 20 meters as well. So apologize for my rudeness, and 73 K0RWB KI4KM.
Not a problem, Nathan. Not a problem. We know how it works. Thanks for giving us a call. Kilowatt India 4, Kilowatt Mike, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. We'll be clear. Hope to catch you again. We'll be clear in QRZ.
Whiskey India 9, Juliet Alpha Yankee.
Julia, is it Whiskey India 9 or Kilowatt?
Whiskey India 9, Juliet Alpha Yankee. Again, Whiskey India 9, Japan, America, Yokohama. Jay in Wisconsin, Randy.
Yeah, I got you that time. Sometimes I type so fast I can't remember what I put in there. So, yeah, I got it that time. Apologies. Well, thanks, Jay. Gosh, another nice signal. I should spend more time down here on 40 meters. 17 or 20 are beating me to death, but very nice here. And fine copy on Wisconsin. The second contact I've had today, the first one is in Iola, which I think we might be a little bit north and west of you, I believe. I think you're probably a little bit closer to the water there, Roger.
No, Roger, Iola should be south of me. I'm in northern Wisconsin. I'm located about 60 miles north of Green Bay, Wisconsin, a little town called Crivets. You're 5'9" plus here, Randy, sounding fantastic. I think I don't know what you're running for radio there. I thought you said a 7300, but I could be mistaken. So here we're just running a Yaesu FTDX or FT 2000, and the antenna is an off-center fed dipole up at 20 feet, just 100 watts out. Microphone is a Heil PR 781, which runs into an 802 mixer, back into the radio with a little bit of EQ, and that's all we got going on here, Randy. Back to you, K0RWB WI9JY.
Yeah, fine business. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, Iola is just kind of south of Stevens Point. I was thinking it was up north, but yeah, I'll get it squared away. No, fine business. Yeah, I love that microphone, the PR71. We've got that as well. We picked that up on last Friday. Yeah, the rig, we have the 7300. The current rig is the Yaesu FTDX10 that we got a week ago today. And we're still trying to get acquainted. A lot more dials and things to adjust. If the transmit audio was as simple as the 7300, I'd be really impressed. But it's got 3 parasitic EQs, and it takes some tweaking to get there. But no, fine business on the audio on yours. 781 really does make them pop. On our 7300, we were running an ICM mic by Heil, and it seemed to line up with it pretty well. But I like the radio. Don't get me wrong. I think we probably we're going to use it more for portable. In the beginning, we used it in the shack, knowing that we were going to get a second radio to leave in the shack and take the 73 on portable. Much lower profile, doesn't weigh as much, but still has a lot of features. So that's the intention. And yeah, you're 5'9" plus, almost pushing 20 on 100 watts. Kind of makes you feel bad. I'm doing almost 800, and I'm probably not much better there, Roger.
Oh, Roger, on that. Yeah, I guess I'm just lucky today, so I don't know. But, yeah, very good, Randy. Yeah, you sound fantastic. I don't think it doesn't matter much that DX10 sounds fantastic, but the 7300, I don't think it matters what anybody puts on there for a microphone. I know the stock microphone generally sounds the best that I've heard. I believe I don't know if you realize this or not, I think I'm pretty sure they put a Heil element in that microphone, the stock microphone. I'm not sure if you heard that or not, Randy, but boy, they all sound fantastic, and even the desk mics on them sound great. So they did a nice job with that radio, and I do like that DX10 as well, but right now we're trying to save our pennies to get an amplifier for here on 40 on the weekends. I talked to a group of people up on 7.215, so sometimes when the band conditions are crappy, they have a hard time hearing me on the 100 watts, but I also have an FCDX 1200 here, Randy, so we don't have that one in line at the moment, but that's the way it is. But anyway, you sound fantastic, and the DX10, you got it tuned in perfectly. I'm not sure what you're using for a mic on there, but it sounds fantastic. Back to you, K0RWB WI9JY.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Well, I appreciate that, Jay. Yeah, we have the PR781 as well. We had the predecessor of the 1200, which is the 950, up until January, and we were looking at upgrading because there's been some advances in receive technology over the 950, and so we kind of went that route with the 7300. We had an Audio Technica microphone for that 950, and it worked quite well. We tried it on this radio, and it did not have the power to push it out. So we took the rig over. We have an amateur store here in the Kansas City Metro, and we took it over there the other day, and we tried the Heil HM12, the Heil Goldline Elite, and then the PR781, and it sounded the best. So we went that direction, and I would say that the microphone and the radio are still getting to know each other, but yeah, I think we're getting real close. The audio in my monitor and my headphones sounds terrible, but it seems to sound better over the air, and it seems to sound a little better on the playback on YouTube as well. Roger.
No, Roger on that. Yeah, it does. It sounds fantastic. Believe it or not, Randy, my 1200 is the same way. The monitor in there, it sounds like I'm talking into a tin can. But you know, I've had people send me recordings, and I think, as a matter of fact, I think you're on the YouTube as well right now. So that'll be cool to listen to that later. Yeah, very good. Yeah, I do have a rack of Behringer gear here that I had hooked up to the 1200 for a while, but I had it offline for a while, and the 2496 lost its settings in there, so now I have to try and figure out how to put all the settings back in. It's been a while, so I had some RF issues, so I took everything out of line and moving stuff around down here, so now I got to get that back in line. I also have a UR6QW 8-band EQ compressor noise gate echo processor that I use once in a while on this radio, but some odd reason this monitor in this 2000 sounds fantastic, but like I said, the 1200 sounds like I'm talking into a tin can. I don't know why, but maybe you're running into the same thing there, Randy. Over.
Yeah, it really does. I don't know why, but I've had a chance yesterday to listen on the playback, and then I was talking with a station last night out of Louisville who has a new 101D, and they're basically the same EQ. It's probably the same. It's in the 1200 as well. And we talked on the phone last night, and I duplicated his settings, and then this morning I made one little small change, and then the software that I use that goes into YouTube, I can actually do an in-house, I can record basically. So I just hook up to a dummy load. So you can listen to the changes real world, so to speak, which is okay. And so I thought we'd give it a go this afternoon. And like I said, I'll listen more tonight on YouTube as well. If it, and I thought I had good headphones, but maybe it's better out there. But no, it is one of those things, but we're still having fun with it, and we've had a lot of people who've commented and said lots of nice things on the live stream, because we don't get that much of an opportunity to hear ourselves on receive, so this really does help quite a little bit. And I'm watching your signal strength and on the oscilloscope on the screen here, which is also popping up right now, and you can see that as well. I can see where your peaks and valleys are at, and I see 3 peaks and 2 valleys, and that's kind of what you want there, since we're only working with about 3 kc. So I'd say you've got yours dialed in really well. One thing I did want to ask, though, I'd be curious what you've got your bass and your treble set on your settings there. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, I got the bass on the 802 mixer about, I'm going to say 10 o'clock, and the mid-range is just above 0, maybe about 1, and the treble is about all the way up on the scale on the 802 mixer. I don't know what my EQ settings are in here on the radio. I have to go in there and look, but there's a lot of them. So that's where I got the mixer set anyway. There, over.
Yeah, 5 minutes. No, it's good. No, I was just kind of curious. I've talked with a lot of 7300 owners, and nobody has their set the same. Actually, a week ago, 2 stations on the West Coast, and they had both gotten them within a day or two. And when running the stock settings, and I really don't think you can run that radio at 50% mic gain. And I said try 25 or 30%, and made a couple other changes. And I said, well, to me it sounds really good, but I mean, you be the final decision maker. You know your voice better than anybody else. Go back and listen to it on YouTube, and they were nice enough to take the time to respond back to me and said that they liked the changes and so forth. And that's really all we're trying to do. We don't have a whole lot of bandwidth to work with, but you want it to be as pleasant as possible. At least I do, and you want to have it audible. But yours is dialed in. I wouldn't change a thing. It sounds really good. And again, band conditions could change that, but you're certainly within 3 kcs what it's showing there on the scope. And I love to see those peaks and valleys. You've got that going on as well, Roger.
Okay, very good. Well, I appreciate that, Randy. Yeah. Actually, the radio is set up for 4K transmit bandwidth, but I don't think we're pushing quite that. And I know my 1200 set up the same, but generally, if somebody complains, I kick it back to 1 and 2.9 or 1 and 3 on both radios. So try not to get too crazy with it, but we do like the audio stuff. And I noticed that with a lot of 7300 owners that they have to really crank the mic gain up on those radios to get it to drive. I don't know why that is, but unless they're using something external, it's not as bad. But I've seen some guys running their mic gain at 75%, they're telling me. So, which is quite a bit, I think. But they still sound good. I don't care. That they all sound good. So, like I said, they did a fantastic job with that radio. And I believe, like I said, I think they put a Heil microphone or an element in that stock microphone. So, it definitely works great. But anyway, Randy, I'm not going to hold it too long here. I got to get upstairs and eat some supper and take a cat nap. I got to go to work here this evening. I work graveyard shift at a piston manufacturing company in Marinette, Wisconsin. So, got to go and put in my time, so to speak, Randy. But pleasure talking to you, and you sound fantastic on the DX10. Don't change anything. Nice clarity, and I wouldn't touch anything. PR781 is dialed in very well. So anyway, Randy, we'll turn it back to you for a final. I hope you have a great afternoon, and it was a pleasure meeting you on the band today. Kilowatt Zero, Romeo Whiskey Bravo from Whiskey India 9, Juliet Alpha Yankee.
I appreciate it, Jay, and really enjoyed the QSO, and hopefully we'll have a chance to do it real soon. I feel sorry for you about the 4-letter word thing. We don't say it anymore. We retired September 17, so we found other ways to occupy our time. But hey, good for you. No, we appreciate you coming back to the CQ, and I'm glad you gave out your call. We were able to pull you out real easy. And I have a feeling we'll work again. But yeah, take a listen on the YouTube and see what you think. Leave us a like or a subscribe, whatever. And we try to do this on a continual basis, and we'll see where it goes. But we did enjoy it this afternoon. So have fun tonight, I guess, at work. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend coming up, and we'll look for you again. I really did enjoy talking with you. Whiskey India 9, Juliet Alpha Yankee. Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Randy in Kansas City, we'll be clear 7-3s.
Okay, 7-3s, Randy. Yeah, we're 55, and we got another 10 years of work to do. So, God willing, we'll be here, and even a long time afterwards. So, God bless. Take care. 7-3s. K0RWB, WI9JY.
Yeah, 7-3s. Take care. This is Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Randy in Kansas City, QRZ.
Whiskey 8, Golf Mike Kilo, Mobile.
Was it a Whiskey 8 Golf Mike Kilo?
QSL, that is correct.
Whiskey
You are
Delta
good
4
5-9, good signal into Central Ohio this afternoon.
Okay, fine business. Other station, standby 1. We're working a mobile station, and we'll try to get back to everybody else again. Gary, give me the QTH again.
Our QTH is Central Ohio. We're here near the city of Springfield right now.
Okay, fine business. And I copy that you're mobile.
QSL, that is correct. We are mobile in Central Ohio.
Okay, fine business. Well, yeah, I don't know. Keep both hands on the wheel there. Don't let me distract you. Signal's about 5 and 7 to 5 and 9, but we're able to pull you out there. Appreciate you coming back to the call. Again, it's K0RWB Radio Whiskey Bravo. The name is Randy, and we are 35 miles east of Kansas City, Missouri. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, good to meet you, I believe, for the first time. Yeah, I have a whole lot of noise where I'm at right now. I'm at about a 7 or something like that, but boy, we certainly making it over the top and sounded good in the higher today.
Yeah, fine business. I mean, I think you're the second or third mobile I've worked this afternoon. We generally are not on 40 meters this time of day. We run a live stream on YouTube daily at 2 o'clock Central, but we're usually up on 20 meters. But the conditions were not very good, so we took it as long as we could, and we moved down here. And there's been a lot of activity, I must say, on 40, and we've had some really nice QSOs. And generally speaking, the stations have had really good signals as well there, Roger.
Yeah, QSL, that. 20 is probably my favorite. I like to work that. But yeah, you're right. 40 is really coming to life here. But I've had a whole lot of noise. Well, I have a whole lot of noise now, but it's at my home QTH. I've had a lot of noise on 40 recently. I don't know if it's some kind of electrical interference or what it is, but it's been real difficult.
Yeah, I think that's what started yesterday in my location, where there was some electronic noise. I wouldn't say static crashes. And then it did subside, and then around 10 o'clock again this morning, it kind of started. And we came on about 1:30 on the live stream, and we tried to last as long as we could, but it was a one-way conversation. So we pulled the plug, and then we thought, well, we'll try 40 meters. It has been much quieter, and the signals and the stations have been just as strong. So we decided to change up today, and we're having a great time there. We've got you pulled up on QRZ there, and look at a picture of your shack. I wasn't sure. It looked like maybe a 7300 in the shack. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, that is correct. We run a 7300, and do have an 80B amplifier that we use from time to time. I think the picture shows the old T-Jet FT200. It's still working just fine, but just kind of put it on the shelf.
No, fine business. And what do you have? What do you have in the mobile station?
Has a Yankee 891 and antenna. Just using a ham stick that I've had really good luck with.
Yeah, I would say so. I've got some about 2 kcs down bleeding, but in between that, I hear you quite well. So that's really good for a mobile station. We don't do much mobile. We do a lot of portable work, but mobile has always escaped me. We've never had good luck, but your setup is working for you today, and we're glad we had a chance to pull you out of the mix there and make a short QSO, Roger.
Yeah, QSL. Yeah, I'm just driving on my way home. Did some work at my daughter's house this afternoon, and on my way home, and turned the radio on, was tuning the band, and and heard you, so we thought we'd jump in there and say hello. I believe it's the first time for our first QSO. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't show contact in my log, and it's I think it's fairly well set up, Gary. But yeah, no, fine business. I'm glad you did, and I need to make more of a attention to see if there's any portable or mobile stations while I'm doing this. And sometimes I get caught up in just trying to grab call signs through the pileup. But I'm glad you came in today. I'm glad we got a chance to work. And I don't know if you caught or not, but we are live on YouTube right now. We're doing the stream, so if you want to listen to our QSO and see how you sound on the air, just go back and put in my call sign on YouTube. Look for the newest video, which will have today's date on it. And we came in at about 47 minutes into the stream, so you could fast forward up to that point and get a listen and see what you think. How you sound in the mobile there, Roger?
Not QSL, yeah. What was your call sign again?
Roger, it's Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo, red, white, and blue. Roger.
Okay, got that. Yeah, we'll see to that and see how it does sound. So, yeah, again, good talking to you. 7-3, and yeah, have a good afternoon. K0RWB, W8GMK, be clear on your part.
You bet. Gary, thanks again. Enjoyed it. Pleasure is on my end. I'm glad we had a chance to work real brief. I want you to keep your eyes and your attention on the road and not worry about me. But, yeah, you're sounding good this afternoon. Hopefully we'll have a chance to work again, maybe in your shack as well. I'll say 7-3s are now. Have a safe drive home. Good rest of the week and a good weekend coming up. And we'll catch you down the log. A Whiskey 8 Golf Mike Kilo Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo Randy in Kansas City will be clear. 7-3s.
November 2 Radio.
Kilo 7 Charlie Tango Romeo.
Okay, we'll go ahead and clear with him. I believe I heard a November 2 Romeo Alpha.
That's correct there, Randy. Good afternoon. K0 Red, White, and Blue from November 2, Romeo Alpha. Name here is Eric, and we're here in Rockland, New York. About 40 or so miles north of New York City, and you're sounding great here. So figured we'd give you a quick call. Anyway, back over to you, Randy. CL copy K0RWB and KORA.
Well, fine business, Eric. That would definitely be the farthest contact I've had on 40 meters this afternoon. Thank you so much for that. Wonderful audio out of West Harrison, New York. And boy, I like that QRZ picture. That's pretty cool. I hope you're not like that in real life, or maybe that's just makeup. But yeah, we pulled you up on the QRZ page there. Fine business. We appreciate you coming back to the call. Like I said, we're just playing radio this afternoon. 20 meters was early a no-go, and we decided to try 40, and having a wonderful time, as I've said earlier. Lots of activity, some really good, strong stations, and everybody's bringing something to the table. We're having a lot of fun with it, and be curious to see. Give me your comments and feedback on the 7610. Looks like that's what you've got in the shack there, and be curious how you like it there. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, real good there, Randy. Well, thank you. Yeah, by the way, you're 5'9" plus, you're about 5'9" to sometimes 5 to 10 over 9, so you're sounding good here as well. Good signal. And yeah, the conditions have been really bad. 20 was on 20 a little earlier in the day, and there were a couple of DX stations in there, but not good at all. So we've been kind of bouncing back and forth here as well, between 40 and 20. But good to work here on this band. Let's see here. Yes, and appreciate you visiting the page. We're looking at your QRZ page as well. Want to thank you, by the way, for your service. I know some veterans don't care for it too much, but I feel the need to always thank them. So hopefully you don't mind. If you do, sorry, because I'm going to tell you anyway. So thanks for your service. Appreciate it. And as far as the 2610, we love it. I've had a lot of ICOM gear over the years. I think I've had just about every HF ICOM rig in the market, with the exception of probably three of them. And by far, this is one of my favorite. And they've done a really hell of a job on CW. I think for me, that's probably one of their biggest improvements overall. Operating CW on this radio is absolutely incredible. And as well, sideband works fantastic, digital modes. I mean, I can't say enough about the radio. I really love this radio. It's a really nice radio. So it definitely performs very, very well. We're driving that into an OM Power 2K plus amp this afternoon, and getting about a kilowatt watt meter here showing 999 or about 1100 on peak. And that goes to a Cuscraft Delta 40, only up at about 28 feet. Go ahead.
Yeah, 5 minutes. So I appreciate you visiting the page, and we've got yours pulled up as well. And it's quite impressive, Eric. You didn't put that together in 5 minutes, that's for sure. I love the layout of the shack there. Yeah, fine. It looks really good. Well, we had a dilemma quite a little bit. There's so many newer radios. We knew it was time for an upgrade. We had an old FT 950 Yaesu from 2012, and we were looking to get a little more active in the hobby, and we knew it was about time. So in January, we started looking around. Really tough decisions. I've touched on a lot of good radios. We do like a lot of portable work, and we weren't looking to have a big radio like the 950 in the shack. We did really consider the 7610, and we looked at the 101D. We looked at the 7300, and we looked at the Yaesu FTDX10. So we decided on the 7300 and the FTDX10. So the 7300 is a terrific radio, very easy to set up. Had a really nice dialed in with an ICM Heil microphone. It doesn't have the external monitor feature, which we really like about this rig. I have a feeling they'll do that before long. Wouldn't surprise me. So we went that route, a little bit smaller scale, a little bit lighter, easier to pack up for portable operations. So we went that route. And we've had the FTDX10 now for a week as of today, and still doing some configurations. The mic is the PR781, which we had on Friday, and the mic and the radio are still getting to know each other. And we're getting there. Antenna is just a 40-meter dipole, 38 feet off the side of my tower, and we're about 750 to 800 on peak, sir. Roger?
Yeah, okay, very good. Yeah, it's playing very well, and it actually sounds really, really nice. I don't hear too many of those FTDX10s. You hear a lot of the FTDX 101s, and I hear it's an incredible radio. It's actually, I was visiting a ham not too far from me, and he says that the FT 101 is just an incredible radio as well. And it's definitely a little difficult to know whether or not you want to spend so much money on a radio. And I'm a pretty practical guy, pragmatic guy. I had the 7600 for a long time, and a lot of different new radios came and went, and all these SDRs, and I guess I don't like change too often. If it's working, there's no reason to change anything. But at some point, I said, you know what? I think it's time to treat myself to a new gift. And normally I look for good deals, secondhand stuff, but this one I went out and bought new out of HRO, and I said to myself, well, I sure hope it's going to be worth it. and I have to say, I have enjoyed it, and I haven't looked back, and it was worth every penny, I think. For me anyway, I think in terms of simplicity, it plays well, and I couldn't be happier. But, to each their own. I've had Yaesu, I've had Kenwood. I've just been more fond of Icon, but Yaesu has a place here. I run an FT817 for portable work, and looking at probably picking up that 705. That ICOM QRP radio, and yeah, you can go all sorts of different kind of ways. You can configure your shack all kinds of different ways. I mean, I've even had shacks where I had maybe an Elecraft KX3 with the 100 watt amp, and of course amplifiers to drive 100 watt amp to drive the QRO amps. And if I needed to bug out, grab and go, all I got to do is grab the KX3 and that's it, So, with the 705, now you can do so much more, and the pad adapters, and turn a small radio into a big radio station. And if you wanted to just grab the little radio and go, you could. So, there's, I think, every radio, every configuration for just about any budget, however you want to configure it. So there you go. A question on your hex beam, NA4 or RAC, it seems like you're very happy with it. I don't know how long you've had it since you posted that, but do you still feel the same way about your hex beam? Go ahead.
Yeah, N2ARR K0RWB. Yes, I bought that in January of 2012, and the radio was a month behind it at the time. And Roger Rockwell, NA4R, is a wonderful guy. I talked to him on multiple occasions before I decided to go that direction. I wouldn't change a thing. Honestly, would not change a thing. I realize that there are antennas with better gain and front to back rejection and side rejection and so forth, but I would not change a thing. It has certainly changed the attitude in my shack. Actually earlier I was talking to Spring Hill, Florida, and was getting ready to clear, and then I heard a station called out in 7 land and happened to be in Montana. So if I had something with a lot of rear rejection, I would have never heard it. So I was able to continue speaking as I was rotating around, and it brought up about 3 S units on my receive and about 3 units in his receive. So it works wonderfully. I've had several snowstorms with ice. I do have ice cords on mine to give it some additional strength. I've had windstorms in excess of 70 miles an hour, and it just flops around like an upside-down umbrella. So I would not change a thing with it there, Roger.
Okay, very good. Well, we're looking, come spring, we're looking to change the antenna array here. And part of it is because even though you see the Glen Martin roof tower there, it's not on the peak of my house. I've got these old artisan stone-like roof shingles here, so I wasn't going to bother those shingles. And so I put the array on my garage. So that's why the tri-band Yankee you see there is a Force 12 C3 sugar designed at about 75 feet, which I had on a tower at one time. I did have a 70-foot tower, and I had it on there, and it worked fantastic. And believe it or not, I mean, you could see, the countries I worked, even at 23 feet, this Yankee is only 23 feet off the ground. And my Cushcraft Delta 40, the 40-meter element, is only about 28 feet off the ground. So the idea, the objective is to get a hex beam at the very top of that, and that will help get the elements higher off the ground. I understand the hex beam supposedly works super well at low heights. And so I'm hoping for an improvement, an improvement overall. I am going to gain additional bands, and it will be a few feet further off the ground. So, I'm hoping that in combination with the characteristic or performance of the hex supposedly at low heights, I think overall I should be able to improve things here. So. And we're looking forward to it come spring. What I'm going for, unfortunately, even though I'd very much like to purchase the NA4 or the KIO, is that they don't offer a 40-meter element. And there's only one design that offers the 40-meter element, and so we ordered it. Even though I ordered it, I still like a little reassurance, and like to talk to folks that have hex beams and see what their thoughts are on hexes. And I think I like the idea of 40-meter rotatable, and I figured if I was going to take this down, I had to put back up a 40-meter rotatable. So that's kind of what we did. We went with the 7-band hex, and we were looking very much forward to getting it. So I guess we'll update you as to how well that hex beam works with the 40-meter element, and perhaps we could compare somewhat to a degree. But you got an advantage. You got it on that nice tower, so it seems to be. I guess that helps a bit. Anyway. Randy, nice to meet you. I got to get going here. Got to do a couple of things. It's a pleasure speaking with you. Look forward to working you again. You got a great sounding station here. and I enjoyed the Q-show very much. So all the best to you and yours. I will turn it over to you. Listen out for your final, and wish you you and yours all the very best, and God bless. Until next time, K0RWB, and to all RA listening out.
Yeah, fine business. No, I certainly understand that, and to me, again, another tipping point was at that time it was $500 shipped to my door. So it's a inexpensive man's beam, and I think now he's only gone up to around 600. And I believe he offers a 40-meter option. It's an extension. It goes on the end of the spreaders. I believe so. I was going to go to his site and take a look, but I think he offers that option. I thought about it, but I don't spend a lot of time on 40. I probably should, if it's as good as it was this afternoon. But I haven't really looked into it much. We bring ours over. We have a tilt base. We bring it over once a year, just for inspection and make sure everything is okay. We've never had to do anything with it, so we've been very fortunate, and I would do it again in a heartbeat because it's worked out so well, and he has all replacement parts. But getting it in the air is the big key. 10 feet and below, you'll have a little bit higher SWR. Roger told me optimum height was between 30 and 55 feet. We're at 45, but we're going to try to bring it up another 10 feet just to see how it's going to work. And it's simple enough to bring it back down again. So anyway, I know you got to run. We appreciate it. Very nice signal in New York. Longest contact today on 40. Appreciate that. And enjoy the rest of your evening and the rest of the week as well. Hope you have a good weekend. Look for us again. Like I said, take a listen to the stream. Man, the audio is just kicking and booming. Pretty cool. I'm hoping I'll sound like that later. I can listen on playback. Thanks again, Eric. Always a pleasure. And we'll work again real soon. November 2, Romeo Alpha, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Randy in Kansas City, we'll be clear. 7 3s.
Randy, very good. Yeah, we'll take a look at it a little later. Appreciate that. And thanks again for the comments.
Stand by one.
Keep the audio clear. We're always available. We're always on voicing or anything. And I don't think we're going to run one of these on email. We'll skate, we'll put on one, and we'll play around. All the best to you and yours. God bless the word. 7 3.
Okay, 7 3s. Appreciate it. The other station, come back with your call sign.
This is Kilo 7, Charlie Tango Romeo, Tim in Waynesburg, Kentucky. You got a great signal today.
Roger, I copy Kilo 7, Charlie Tango Romeo.
That's a Roger.
Okay, fine business. Wanted to make sure. I've got somebody about 2 KCs down that just making a little bit of noise here, but we were able to get you that time. If I typed it in correctly, is this Tim there? Go ahead.
It is. It's Tim in Waynesburg, Kentucky, talking to you on my new 52-year-old Drake twin.
Well, you know what? For a new Drake twin, I'd say you're doing a phenomenal job. It has a spot-on audio. Roger?
Oh, well, thank you very much for saying that. It's putting out about 125 watts. I don't push it too hard, but you sound absolutely fantastic. You sound broadcast quality over here.
Well, I appreciate that. As I was telling people earlier today, it sounds absolutely awful in my headphones. It sounds like I'm in a tin can talking. I've made some adjustments in the equalizers this morning a little bit, so I haven't had a chance to listen on playback. So I'm looking forward to it here in a little bit because we are live streaming on YouTube, so I can go back and listen to see just how bad it sounds to me, but everybody else says it seems to sound okay. But boy, it just sounds awful here in the headphones. But we're trying to be conscientious so the YL doesn't have to hear two conversations, so we'll make it work. But no, thanks for coming back there. Fine business. We're getting ready to pull the plug for the day, but we did hear you quite well, and we don't like to leave stations out there that are calling in. We'd like to try to get them while we can, but fine business on the Drake twin. I don't think I've heard one of those rigs in a long time. They're easy. They're really good radios for portable work. There's not much to them there, Roger.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. I don't think I'll ever take them outside though, but but they are pretty cool. I really appreciate you picking me up. I know there's other people in there, and I don't want to hold it too long, but I just had to comment on how well you sounded, and had to say hi. So I'm going to turn it back over to you. This is Tim in Waynesburg, Kentucky. Really appreciate it. K7CR.
Yeah, okay, fine business. Well, I don't run off just yet here. I'm going through the shack. Oh, I love that FT2000. Boy, there's a terrific radio as well. And if I spy correctly, there's an ACOM amplifier over on the side. Same amplifier we're running. We're running the ACOM 1000, which we got in December. Absolutely love. Terrific pictures of the shack. I mean, that is just crystal clear. You must be a photographer by trade. Look at here. You got the same amplifier. Boy, isn't that a wonderful amplifier? That is just terrific. Boy, those are some wonderful pictures you've got there as well. Yeah, I see the beam on the ground. Probably works a little bit higher, I'll bet. I've run my hex beam at 4 foot off the ground, and the first contact was the UK. And then we've got it up now at 45 feet. We kind of like 17 and 20, but just way too noisy. So we're here on 40 meters with just a 40-meter dipole about 38 feet off the side of the tower. But it's working for us today. But no, I'm glad you jumped in there. And you spent some time on the QRZ page. You didn't put that together in 5 minutes. Very impressed. And if you would, tell me a little bit about the picture with the airplane. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a 1959 Cessna 150 straight tail. And I bought it off an Alaska Airlines pilot who had it completely restored so his kids could learn how to fly. So it was in Reno shape, and I got it for $16,000. That's why I'm standing there happy with the contract. Oh, my.
Yeah, fine business. We do a little bit of single engine ourselves, and always like to kind of comment when we see pictures. We probably need to put something up there ourselves. We do a lot more in the virtual world than the $100 hamburger world, if you know what I mean, Roger.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. They cost a little bit more than that these days with fuel prices. Yeah, definitely $100 hamburgers on Saturday.
Well, I have a feeling, nowadays, especially this last year, we haven't looked, but I'm sure the $100 hamburgers probably turned into a couple $100, Roger.
Yeah, it's gotten kind of expensive, but this hobby's expensive too. Motorcycles are expensive too. I mean, if you want a good hobby, it's probably going to cost you some money.
Well, they say you can't take it with you. The one with the most wins, I don't believe that either. So I'm going to use it while I can, and within reason, of course. But yeah, we've certainly done our fair share. Like I said, most of the stuff now is flight simulation that we set up. But a game changer for flight simulation was virtual reality, VR goggles, and that's a game changer if you're doing anything at all. It's 3D. And it is being in the cockpit, so we've really enjoyed that. So we have 172 all the way up to a 737-800 and everything in between. The Cirrus SR-22 and the Vision, an RV-8, an RV-7. We've even got the new DA-62. So we've covered our bases and really enjoy. Believe it or not, we enjoy flying those. It may sound silly, but it's real time. So if you want to go from Kansas City to Denver in an MD-82, it's a 2-hour and 20-minute flight. There's no way to scroll ahead, so you've got to sit there and figure it out. But we do enjoy that. Not quite the same as the real world, but a heck of a lot cheaper, Roger.
Well, and stop and think about it, a lot safer too. Anyway, I have to run. We got some stuff going on here, and I'll have to turn it back over to you. But I really appreciate it. It's a good conversation. This is Tim in Waynesburg, Kentucky.
Yeah, okay, Tim. I understand you got to run. Appreciate it. Enjoyed the QSO. Hopefully do it again. We'll pick it up where we left off. I'd like to hear about some more aviation. One of my favorite pastimes there. 7-3s, enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for the contact in Kentucky. One of my first ones today, so I'm glad to see that the band is working for us. Kilowatt 7, Charlie Tango Romeo, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. We'll be clear, my friend. 7-3s.
73.
Okay, we'll go ahead and clear. We're going to try one more here, see if we can get a hold of Davis. See if Kilowatt 3, Delta Hotel Juliet, if is out there. Kilowatt 3, Delta Hotel Juliet. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. And we'll try one more time. Kilowatt 3, Delta Hotel Juliet. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Okay, we just got a contact there on the live stream chat. Okay, fine business. We're glad you stopped in and listening to us on the SDR. Fine business on the FT991 is a good top contender. The ICOM 7300 is a good contender. The FTDX10 is a good contender. Well, I own both of those radios. Getting on the air is the big key, my friend. I know you're listening to SDR, and get it set up and give me a buzz. Well, I want to be the first contact. At that, we're going to say 7-3s. We've enjoyed the contacts today, and it's getting late in the day. But thanks to everybody who's been on the live stream, folks who've been on the chat, and those listening out there. We're going to try to do this on a daily basis. We'll either be on 20 meters or 40 meters. We do appreciate it. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Randy in Kansas City. We're going to be clear.